Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today I want to talk about Sombra Tracer Dive. Generally, it consists of Winston, Diva, Sombra, Tracer, Lucio, and Moira. Yes, I know that last one is weird, we'll get to why later. This is not the most meta composition right now. Definitely don't make this your bread and butter. Don't spend the majority of your scrim time on this comp. It's not going to serve you well. That said, Briggs is going to see a nerf. We've got that up on the PTR, and that's going to bring back some amount of Tracer. Whether that's going to be the full-on return of Tracer and she's going to take over the meta again, that's up for debate. We're not going to get into that right here and now. She is going to see some more play though, and since she's going to see some more play, let's give Tracer some love. Let's talk about a comp that uses her. So first off, what's the appeal of this comp? Well, it can go fishing for picks with a pretty low downside. So this comp's trick is its one-clip play. Sombra sets up, gets to tell Tracer exactly where the target that she wants to kill is. Sombra goes ahead and unstealths, starts to hit a hack on either the target that she wants to kill or a target that would provide meaningful peel to that target. And as Sombra is hitting this hack, Tracer triple blinks in. Then Tracer goes ahead and one clips, just empties a single clip into the kill target, and Sombra shoots this target at the same time. As soon as Tracer's clip is empty, remember, no blinks left, both Tracer and Sombra recall and translocate out. Ideally, this went ahead and got you the kill. Tracer's plenty capable of one clipping a 200 HP hero all by herself. She had extra damage from Sombra there. This can very easily lead to that nice one clip kill. If you did get that kill, you're in fantastic shape. You wait a bit. You want to have your Tracer recall back before you engage after all. Once you have that recall back, you can just go ahead and perform a normal dive on this team. You've got a 6v5. Their last guy is still on the way back. Easy win. Fantastic. On the flip side, maybe you don't get exactly what you were looking for. They peel really hard. You hacked away Matrix, but they also had a Briggs who threw an armor pack and a Lucio who threw a boop, and they've got lots of good tools there for surviving. Okay, no big deal. They were really on it. They had good reactions, so your Tracer and Sombra have to recall and translocate out without having gotten that kill. So what does that cost you? Not very much, it turns out. Even if you're defending with this comp and you made this play while defending, all that's really going to mean is that the attackers get to push up into you, take space, push you back. You can't really contest them if they do. They know that you're not going to want to force a fight while your translocator and recall are on cooldown, so your tanks are going to get pushed back. And they can take good space, make it hard for you to push into them. They can apply some point pressure. Generally, they won't get a full tick out of this, but they can make you re-engage faster than you might like, and they can make you re-engage or fight for space back that you'd have preferred to have. All in all, that's not too bad. They're not actually going to get a capture out of it. You're incredibly unlikely to actually lose someone going for your one clip play unless you play into a Protect the McCree type comp that has 2 stuns. This looks pretty good. Upside is a pick that pretty much means you win the fight. Downside is you give up some space and maybe you give up a little bit of point progress, but not a full tick. Fantastic. Okay, maximum downside is one or both of your flankers die going for the play, but again, don't play this into comps where that's a serious possibility. If it's just a single flashbang that you're worried about, or just a sleep dart that you're worried about, or just a bash that you're worried about, that's fine. They should be able to play around it. That you're okay making this play into, the payoff is still worth it, but don't go playing this into Protect the McCree. Similarly, I don't super recommend playing this comp into Goats. There's just so much on-demand peel available in Goats, at least right now, that you're not going to get your one-clip play most of the time. Not a huge deal if you don't, but since it's so hard to get that kill through all the peel that's available, there's better options available to you. Get a Genji or a Doomfist instead of your Tracer, and you'll be in better shape playing into Goats. So you guys know, I'm not going to be a fan of a comp just because it has one way to win fights. Every good comp needs multiple win conditions. And this one has its one clip play, and that's a really nice one, but it does have to be able to do other things. And fortunately, it can. It can play much like a normal dive comp. So it can go ahead and go, okay, we're here. We have a Winston, Diva, Tracer, Sombra. Those can all dive you. If we dive from pretty close range, our Moira can stay in the fight too, and that's helpful. You don't want to dive from super long range if you're going for alpha dives with this comp, because you run into the issue of, for your Moira to keep up, she has to use fade, and you don't want to fade into a fight as Moira generally. That's no bueno. The enemies should swap targets and try and kill you. So try and make your dives come from shorter ranges. This comp does have pretty good tools to help get your Moira and team into position to be able to dive from shorter ranges, and that Sombra, of course, gives you pretty much perfect scouting. That's going to be helpful for rotating closer. And Tracer still carries excellent movement and pretty reasonable kill potential, so her ability to manipulate vision with those two things is going to help you rotate in as well. That said, you generally actually prefer that the other team dive you with this comp. Since Moira has fade, Lucio has wall ride and speed, Winston has jump pack, D.Va has boosters, Tracer has blinks, and Sombra has translocate, you really don't care. If they dive you, you're not in any threat of anyone dying. This is the same reason that they can't really dive you if you don't get value out of your one-clip play. You're pretty undiveable. But if they do dive you, that's fantastic, because now you just hard peel them, you're playing right on top of your Moira, who's putting out a ton of healing, and you rip apart the Winston, the D.Va, the Sombra, whoever came in for that dive there. That's great. Obviously, you can't just wait for them to dive you, though, if you're playing into a comp that has better poke than you. And that is unfortunately one of this comp's biggest weaknesses. If you are playing it into a dive comp that has very good poke and takes advantage of high ground, that's not going to work out very well for this comp. It doesn't dive super well onto high ground because Moira, Tracer, and Sombra all don't do the greatest job of going vertical. Sometimes that poke can be mitigated. Full dive comps will often still dive you first even though you don't have great poke, because if they wait too long, that's more opportunity for you to look for that one-clip play, and that one-clip play does encourage them to play a bit faster. So we've mostly covered the downsides of this comp. They've been scattered throughout. Doesn't have that win against goats, and generally if you're playing a dive comp, you want to win the counter triangle. Of course, gets countered by the Protect the McCree comps that most dive comps do get countered by, and doesn't really like dive comps poking at it from high ground. So okay, that's a lot of drawbacks. That's a lot of places that we maybe don't want to use it. So where should we use it? Well, we want to use this comp to fight other dive comps primarily. If you run into a 2-2-2 Deathball comp, great. They won't have enough peel, so you can rip them apart there too. But you are primarily looking to use this as a comp for fighting other dive comps when high ground isn't a serious concern. So you can use it on Oasis University. You can use it on Nimbani 3rd. Points that look like that are going to work well for this comp. And it really is going to be important that your Tracer has memorized their triple blink distance, where they can get to, from, when, etc., and that the communication between the Sombra and Tracer is good to make this really work. So anyway, probably not the strongest comp I've gone over in one of these videos, but I did want to go over another Tracer comp since we may see a bit more of her and so many people do love her. If you guys do have any questions, you can go ahead and post them in Twitch chat, and I'll go live in just a moment to answer them as best I can. If you're instead watching this in YouTube, go ahead and throw any questions in the comments down there, and I'll do the best that I can to answer them. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.